Hello.
Hey Capricorns! I'm Parker. If you don't recognize me, it's because I'm new.
He's pretty comfortable though, isn't he? I am Trudy. Ava and I are not reading together this month because we've had a hard time getting together. And I've had this injury, as you well know. So I've got Parker helping me out, saving some airtime on this side. So we are going to do a 4-card spread for you, Capricorn. But before we do, I wanted to mention that you might want to check your rising and your moon signs out below. Go to astrodance.com, click on the free charts, and get your natal chart. Find out what your rising, your moon, your Venus, and your Mars are, and there's a whole bunch of other things that you can learn. But really, I love Venus because that's relationship. Moon is relationship. We'll be teaching them more about that when we do mid-month love, I think.
Yeah, and we are doing a mid-month love reading. I don't know, did we say that already?
I don't know. We can. This is what, 6?
This is our 6th video that we're doing so far
Today.
Yeah.
And Ava has done 6, and we're doing 6. And so please check Ava's as well. They're beautiful. We're going to go into the reading.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get started.
Okay, Capricorn. Parker has shuffled, and I mention this every time, Parker, because sometimes in the comment section, you guys will say, yeah, do you guys memorize this stuff? Or like,
oh, no.
Is this scripted or whatever? I can't imagine anyone would think that's what's scripted. But.
I would like to meet those people. It's definitely not scripted.
But thanks. I mean, that's a compliment. Okay, so we're going to go into the reading. First card represents the overall environment for you for the month of April, Capricorn. Second card.
It's going to be some of the obstacles that you're going to meet this month.
And then the third card will represent surprise!
All those surprises, and then we'll finish off with the 4th card, kind of wrap everything up and let you know kind of the outcome of the month is going to look like a little bit. So
I love Capricorns.
Yeah.
They're so dependable. If you ever need money, go find a Capricorn. You guys have got it going on in the earth plane department for sure. Very solid. They're the fixed earth sign.
Yeah.
So they're like the most solid of all the earth signs. Okay, so Capricorn, in the environment position, the very first card for you is the Ace of Cups. I have to show Parker. Ace of Cups. Feeling a little drained. It's reversed. So there are a couple of ways to read this card. And the first thing that always comes to me is feeling a little emotionally drained.
Yeah, especially upside down.
Yeah. It can, if in the upright, I'm going to turn this upright. It's a lovely card, actually. We do need to turn it around.
It's like you're overflowing when it's right upside, or when it's right side up. But when it's upside down, it's almost like you may start the month off feeling a little bit emotionally spent on everything. Yeah,
exactly. And I'm not sure exactly what to add to that. I mean, Capricorn is a pretty practical sign, but do check your Do check your rising and your moon, because you may have some water in your chart, and that would mean that this card would make a lot of sense, really. You can have a Capricorn that has a Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer moon who's extremely sensitive and easily can feel almost drained emotionally, especially Pisces. They're easy to drain. Pisces moon people. That would be me. You're like a chameleon picking up on everybody else's stuff, and it just kind of is like a emotional drain. And I think I'm just going to flip the next card.
Yeah, let's just see what's going on, because that's just how the month is starting. So.
Yep. And here we have 8 of Pentacles. And this is in the reverse again. And this is about status. I always see this as a status card.
Do you?
Yeah.
I have a pretty interesting take on this card. If it's, again, I'm blind, so I'm going to have to get a better look at it.
Well, it's kind of the well-heeled woman, the woman who has, it's like somebody who has real estate or property.
It's the bird card, right?
Yes, the Petco card. The lady with the bird, and she's got enough for herself and her little pet, you know. But it's in the reverse, in the challenge position. And it can actually point to a person. Sometimes I see this as somebody in your environment who, I mean, with this Ace of Cups now, if we're reading about love, this could be a woman who challenges you because she can't take care of herself. She's spending more than she makes, or her aspiration is to live higher than her means. What do you got there?
I always tell people this is the insurance card, to really make sure that where your values are, that you've got either the time, the money, whatever it is to back up those values to make sure that they stay as important as they are in your life.
Insurance card, I like that.
That's what I call it. Because pretty much she's built this entire garden around this bird that she like cares about more than anything else in the world. So that's kind of why I see it like that. When it's upside down, it might mean that, especially in the obstacles position, that if you're feeling emotionally drained, Capricorn, maybe your values might be slipping a little bit this month. Things might be getting a little bit wonky, or maybe that's just left over from last month.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
I like that. Your values, but...
So when this card pops up, it's usually like you might be realizing that you're kind of emotionally drained and trying to figure out how to get those values switched around and get everything in your home and kind of, maybe even business too with Pentacles, everything kind of straightened up and back into that logical place where you want it to be.
Huh. Yeah. That's interesting because never having read this card with Parker before, it's kind of the same interpretation, which would be the insurance card, because that is like status.
Yeah.
How do you maintain the status quo? You get insurance.
Yeah.
Although insurance is kind of a scam, I'm sorry. But we're not going to get political.
We're not going to get all into that, though.
I think it's a scam. All right, so moving along. I moved my
It can be emotional insurance.
Yeah, but it is a pentacle. So it's also having to take care of somebody who can't take care of themselves. Maybe challenged by. That could be you too. And
Capricorns can do that too. They can kind of...
Yeah, I kind of see that. It's kind of like, because this to me is a draining love card.
Yeah, it might be a heavy start for Capricorns.
It could be like having to take care of somebody, and it could be like even your mom. It could be
her bird.
Your mom's bird. Your mom's animals, right?
It could be.
And you might even be. I mean, this can go either way. This can be a male-female card. That could be, you know, if you're a female, you could be a woman. You can be drained by a partner who can't care for themselves, or vice versa. Someone who's not making as much money as you wish they would, which really makes sense for Capricorn, right?
It does, yeah.
Because you're all about that. Okay, next card. Ta-da!
Oh. Yeah, I'll show it this time.
Put it right in front of Parker's face.
Thank you, I'm blind. It helps.
All right, well, there you go. And that kind of goes along with the month. So you may need to be a little more guarded. That's kind of how unexpectedly, you're letting your guard down.
I'd say this is like an upward battle kind of card.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about this card is that even though, and I kind of showed it to you guys, but the guy has one wand and there's 6 that are pointing against him. And the one is all that he needs to have his leverage to like push everything back and get where he's going. But when it's in reverse, it's even more amplified. Like, you may feel like you're fighting against the current this month. But the thing that's important about this card is that one staff is all you really need. So there is what you need to turn it around. It just, this month might be a little bit draining.
Yeah.
Especially with work.
Yeah, yeah. I'm feeling love here.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe both.
And I mean emotional love. It could be love, family love. It could be just feeling like you've got support, family support. And you just, because these two go hand in hand, this Ace of Cups and that Seven of Rods being inverted. It looks a lot to me as if maybe because you're sort of down emotionally, you sort of let your guard down at the same time. And you sort of give up a little bit. Because in the upright, this is like you're hyper defensive, right?
And you're like, I got this.
I don't need your ideas. I got my own ideas.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it my way. But then...
Almost like you're walking across the things that are opposing you.
Yeah.
That's right side up.
Yeah. But reversed, you're like, yeah, whatever. I'll just lay here and you can just like drive over me.
I'll just hold it off long enough until this month is over.
I'll let cars and trucks drive right over me. All right, we got to see the last card because this is going to be the card. Oh.
The moon, and it's right side up.
And it is, yes, and it is the card of Cancer because every sign has a major arcana card that corresponds. And this is the card of Cancer, the water bearer. No, that's Aquarius, but the crab, right?
I think this is a really interesting card to end out the month for Capricorn.
I think it makes a lot of sense.
I think this month might be moving. You might be moving inward this month, Capricorn, and really kind of delving in deeper to, especially if you feel overwhelmed by a lot of the outside forces in your life.
Mm-hmm. Reflecting.
Yeah, I think there's some subconscious kind of things coming to the surface this month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of dreaming.
And maybe you might almost kind of need like a little bit of like a rebirth after this month. Yeah.
Little sun.
A little sun. The daytime is on the way, Capricorn.
Yeah. It's interesting because these two correspond as well.
Mm-hmm.
The Ace of Cups reversed and the moon. The moon is the card of the psychic.
It is.
So there's a lot of intuition.
There's a lot of messages that are going to be surfacing for you.
Mm-hmm. And that is a really, really good thing because it looks as if there's some deep reflection upon, and this is all minor stuff that's setting off this kind of deep reflection. And when I see this card, I also think of menses. I mean, this is the card of the woman. This is the card of menstruation. I'm just going to say it. It's also the card of menopause and, hormones, really, because female hormones are driven by the tides and the moon and all of that. And we've had a full moon for 2 nights in a row.
Yeah, and it is a card about cycles.
Mm-hmm.
It's about, kind of how we're almost driven by the world sometimes and how we don't always drive.
The planets.
Yeah.
We don't realize how influential the moon is on
the gravity
the tides.
that exists within us.
We're completely water anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
mostly.
Mostly up in the head. You know what I heard? And I'm sorry, I have to divert this, but I was watching the guy who, there's a show on Netflix called How to Hack Life, okay? This guy is awesome. Anyway, he said if you ever lose your car in the parking lot, which we all do, you go to the mall
all the time.
and you like start getting like really upset and freaked out because we were talking on the phone or blanked out when you parked your car and you don't even know which side around the mall it is. He's like, your head is mostly water, so it's a conductor. So if you put your remote for your car up to your head, the range is like 60% further.
Whoa.
That's how much water we have in our bodies. We're conductors. Cool. So the pull of the moon on the tides and the water and us, I mean, we are conductors. So we're feeling all of this stuff. We're feeling very pulled and it is emotional stuff. It's all like hormonal stuff going on. If you're female, you're really going to respond to this. If you're male, you can still respond to it. Now we have male-female going on here.
We do.
This is going to be interesting.
I think the moon is an interesting card. I think it does apply to males because I think it's almost like it's a gravity kind of card. It's when there are forces within you that are pulling you to do things that you wouldn't normally do in like a conscious kind of like straightforward place of mind.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's a reflection card. The sun is, it's sort of an outward vital, card. It's like the aggressive card, the aggressor card. This is the female card. This is the more reflective card. So
I think you're moving into a pretty intuitive place this month, Capricorn. That's how I would read this. I feel like there's a lot of kind of things that you're juggling in life, a lot of maybe even pressures this month. And I feel like maybe you're just kind of on the inside, like figuring things out and resorting yourself. That's how I would read it.
Yeah, and I agree with that completely. I do see this as a love reading.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that there's a draining situation within love. If that is a lover, if you are in love, and I'm going to just go ahead and read it as a love reading, or have been in love, that you are mourning perhaps the withdrawal of that love, and you're challenged with the fact that this person is not in your life anymore. You may be grieving. So your guard could be down, and reflection always happens at that point.
Yeah, I see it as definitely a lot of reflection, and I feel like you're moving towards a transformation.
Yep. This is the sort of the dark night of the soul before
there's a lot of straws in the camel's back this month, and I feel like it's working towards a higher realization for something.
So the value really is, there's a lot of value in reflection. And that's where the growth comes from, spending this time really reflecting upon, and this is an emotional reflection. How do I feel about this? You don't want to ruminate, but, how about this? Get a journal. And then when you have a dream, right, in the middle of the night, script it out and reflect on it in the daytime.
Oh yeah, if you can do that, that's great, especially with the moon card, because that's usually a huge sign that there are messages all around you that you can tune into this month.
Yeah, because you're probably going to have a lot of dreaming. Going on because your guard is down, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, and it's because when you're asleep, you can go to a place that's not. It's not.
You go all the way back here.
Yeah, you go all the way back here.
To like the subconscious brain. We have 3 brains, of course.
Right. We do. And you
can get back to that other brain and do some healing.
Can move outside of some of the logical things that are going into this month and go to a deeper place where you can get some answers. Because I feel like that's what Capricorn's really looking for this month.
Wow. It's a really this is our last reading, so I just want to say, Parker, thank you. You've been awesome.
Thank you so much.
This is a heavy reading.
I think it's a little bit heavy, but
for Capricorn, it's a lot of this is some emotional work you're going to be doing this month.
I think it's kind of positive though, because especially if that's something that you're feeling like it is a heavy month, just know that like it's something that you're working through.
Yeah, and you're going to do it because the moon is a great card actually, and it's in the upright.
Yeah.
Well, okay, now. This is our last reading, so I'm going to say one more thing about this. There's nothing wrong with being depressed.
No.
That means you're going inside, and our society has taught us that if we're depressed, we need to take a pill. Or there's some water.
I lost it.
But I just want to say that because the moon was showing up for some of our signs last month, and sometimes we will say it's minor depression. There is nothing wrong with minor depression. It is a natural state of being. It is a time to step back and reflect and learn, right? And go deep. So I do see some of that for Capricorn, but I don't think it's a negative.
I have a funny little story that our video might be going on forever. But
You're our last one. So
I was talking to my mom the other day, and I don't know what I was talking about, like my work or something outside of this. And she told me not to be discouraged. And I was like, no, like if you never get discouraged or like upset or put down by something, then you'll never change and make it into something better.
That's exactly right. It's a catalyst.
So sometimes you have to realize that you're not the happiest doing what you're doing in order to find something else to do that makes you happy.
Exactly. Well said. Okay, be nice in the comments section. He's better than me, so you be nice to me. Don't you love him? Capricorn. Okay, so we're going to see you next month. We're doing Skype readings. Did I already talk about that? I can't remember.
We are doing Skype readings. We're going to start doing that. Of course, the same. We're going to be doing the audio readings as well. Our mid-month readings, so you don't have to wait till next month. You can see us in the middle of the month if you want.
We're going to do love.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun. If you'd like higher spiritual counsel on this 4-card spread, please click the subscription link to the counsel card. You get all the signs for $4.95, and Ava will be meditating so you don't miss out on Ava's interpretation of this reading. And I think that's everything. We're going to wrap it up. We're going to upload. Bye, Capricorn. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Capricorn.
See you next month.